your paper from Monday, which is 13 and 14, and the reason why is because this is like a follow-up on, it goes together. 15 and 16 goes with 13 and 14. So if you have a question on today's assignment, if you look back on Monday's assignment, which is 13 and 14, it'll help you, okay? It'll be kind of like a cheat sheet for you, okay? So that's why I wanted you to get that out. So the very first thing on page 15, look at the bottom and make sure you're on page 15. All the way down here at the bottom, look, it'll tell you the page number. So are you on 15? Give me a thumbs up if you're on 15. Okay, look at the very first question. Number 1 says write this big number in what? What does that say right there? Expanded form. Say it. What does it say? Expanded form with exponents. So what I want you to do now is I want you to go to page 13. Look on your desk. Do you see page 13? Now let me go, whoa. Now let me go back. Oh, by the way, I need to tell you something. Today at 9:45 in 30 minutes, we are having a fire drill. It's a drill. It's not real. But here's what we have to do. We have to leave and you have to walk behind me and we're going to walk down those steps like out where the buses are. But it's real important that the lights get turned off and the door gets shut. So Bentley, can I trust you to be the very last person and you shut the lights off and shut the door and then just follow us down, okay? Does everybody understand that? Okay. And when we get out, please don't freak out. It's just a drill, okay? So look, I'm on page 13 now. Are you on page 13? Look at your 13. Okay, I want you to look at number 2 on 13. Write 4,050 in, what does this say? Expanded form, just like what it asked on page 15, okay? So I want you to see what we did. We took this 4,050, okay, and we took the first 4. Are you tracking with me? Look at your page 13. And we drew a parenthesis, and we wrote 4 times, didn't we? Say yes, ma'am, give me a head nod or something. Now, you should have had 10 to the 3rd power right there. Do you have 10 to the 3rd power?
Yes.
Now, we got to figure out how did we get 10 to the 3rd power, and I'll tell you. Because that 4 right there, are you watching, is in the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands spot. And if you think about the number 1,000, how many zeros come with 1,000? 3. Now, do you know why I have the exponent 3 there? Is everybody tracking? Then, what do we do with the 0 right there?
You skipped it.
We skipped it. Why did we skip it, Kaden?
Because it has no value.
It has no value. Okay, shake your heads. If you see zeros, you don't have to do anything. Then we went to the 5. So then do you have a parenthesis with the 5 times in front of it? Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
And the 5 is in the 0 would be in the 1s. So what would the 5 be in the 10s? And when you think of the number 10, how many zeros does that have? 1. So do you have 10 to the 1st power here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the reason why I wanted you to look at that, let me find my eraser, is because when you go to page 15, look down at the bottom of your paper, make sure you're on number 15. Look what number 1 is asking you to do the exact same thing. Do you see that? It's asking you to do the exact same thing, and it actually did the first one for you. So I'll do the second one for you, and then you can do the rest on your own, okay? So here's the first thing they did. They took the 7. Okay, there's nothing to write yet. Just watch me. They took the 7 and they put it right here, and they put a multiplication sign. And where in the world would they have got the 10 to the 5th power? Let's think about this. What place is this? Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000. So if you were to write 100,000, do you see how I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros out of that?
Yeah.
Do you see how they got 10 to the 5th power? Say, got it.
Got it.
Okay? Then the next thing, now it's time to write. Put 2 times. What's my eraser? Did it go under here? Oh, there it is. Now we got to think about the place that 2 is in. Help me. Ones,
tens,
hundreds, thousands, 10,000. So on your scrap paper, I want you to write 10,000, just like this. And when you see 10,000, how many zeros are you thinking right there? 4. So 10 to the 4th power. It's start like shaking your head if that's kind of making sense, because we've already done a whole page on this. Plus, I'll give you a whole other way to think about it. Hey, if that's 10 to the 5th power, what do you think the 2 would be? 10 to the
4th.
what do you think this would be? 10 to the 3rd power. What do you think this would be? 10 to the 2nd. What do you think this would be? 10 to the 1st. So once you figure out what the first digit is, it'll be easy to go to the other digits. Are you with me? Okay, next, number 2. Now, I'm leaving it here. You're going to have to go back in a minute and fill that in. Okay? Don't work ahead. Just let's go on to the next one. Write the number name. Underline that. And out to the side, that means words. That means you're literally going to spell out what that is. And I'll get you started. Oh. So here we go. Let's look at the place value of these digits. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. What would this be into then? If I'm past the 100,000s, what am I into now?
Million.
The millions. So how do you say this first number right here? 4 and the 3, 43 million. So I'll get you started. Here we go. We got to write it in words. 43 million. Now, notice in between the 40 and the 3, I put a hyphen. That's important. And notice I put a comma after that because that's actually where the comma is in the number. So do y'all see a comma right after the 43 in the number? So then you're going to put a comma in the words in the same exact place. Okay? Now you've got to finish the rest of that in words. Okay? Let's see. I think you can do the rest of the front because, like number 6, let's add the word exponents there. Let's do actually a little bit of this. So the very first digit right here on 6, the very first digit on 6 is a 1. So put your parenthesis and put 1 times. Now we got to think about what place this is. Help me, everybody. Ones, tens, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. What's this? Millions, 10 millions. On your scrap paper, write 10 million. Because we got to figure out how many zeros that is. 10 million. We'll count them. What'd y'all get? 7. So that would be 10 to the 7th power. And then put a plus sign. That took care of the 1. Now we got to do the next number. What's the next number? The 2. So put a parenthesis. Put 2 times. Now here's the little trick. If that was 10 to the 7th, what do you think the 2 is? 10 to the 6th. And then you've got to do every other number. Are you with me? Shake your head if that's making sense, okay? Every other number. Okay, turn to the back. And of course I will help you if you need help. I gotta check something on my computer real quick. Okay, let's keep going. Number 9. Sue and Jonah chose numbers for a place value game. Sue chose the number 152,000. So I need some help. Somebody tell me how to write, and you're going to write this on scrap paper too. Kiara, how would I write 152,000?
You put 1 and then 0.
Dave for Cushing softball to beat Stroud
Say that
at
fast.
CMS. Good morning. Let's all stand, face the flag, and place our hands over our hearts for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It is now time for the moment of silence. You may choose to reflect, meditate, pray, or engage in any other silent activity that does not interfere with others. The moment of silence shall begin now. In the cafeteria today, we will be having pizza bar, Caesar salad, fruit, milk. Have a tiger day.
Okay. So, here, I don't agree with you already. 152,000. So far, you just have 100. So I was supposed to have 152,000. Okay? So tell me what to write. 152. Now, all I have right now is 152, but I need it to be 152,000. So what I need to add to this?
Comma. And
3 zeros. Good job. Now, that was Sue. So out beside that, put an S for Sue. That's the number Sue chose. Now we got Jonah. What did Jonah choose? He chose, say this number.
1 million.
No, that didn't say 1 million.
5
5 million. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can write 5 million. There's that. There's the 100,000s, and there's the ones, tens, and hundreds. So there's Sue's number, there's Jonah's number. And it's always good to write it out like this. It's always good. Then you can compare. So who chose the greater number? It's pretty obvious. Who chose the greater number? Jonah. But we have to explain why. Why do you think? If we were going to give an explanation, Kaden.
Because 5 million is greater than 150.
Okay, but why is it greater? I agree it's greater. Somebody help him. Why is it greater? What do you think?
Because there's 3 more zeros and
Okay, there's more digits. Okay, I agree. Does anybody have anything else they want to say? How about millions are worth more than thousands? That's what I was going to say. So write that. Millions. In fact, I don't want to write this. You can. Millions are worth more than thousands. Write that. There's your explanation. Millions are worth more than thousands.
What's the word?
Millions are worth more than thousands. Worth is W-O-R-T-H. Millions are worth more than thousands. Millions are worth more than thousands. There's your explanation. Millions are worth more than thousands. Okay, number 10. One day, the state fair total attendance was 126,945. What does this say to do right here? What does it say? Everybody, help me put it round, so you probably should underline that word. Do a good job, round. We're going to round to the nearest 100,000. That's important. We're going to round to the nearest 10,000. That's important. And we're going to round to the nearest 1,000. We have 3 different numbers that we have to round to.
Okay.
So on your scrap paper, I want you to write 126,945. This is the number that they gave us. And what are we rounding to first? Help me, everybody. The nearest what? 100,000. So is that this place?
No.
Help me. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Underline that one. Because that's the first place we're supposed to round to. Now this should be a refresher for you. This isn't the first time you've heard this. You look next door. Is that number right there 5 or greater? No, it's kind of a wimpy number. So that doesn't have enough power to push that over. So the 1 stays the same. And what do you do with all the other numbers? They become zeros. Good, Kaden. So actually, that's your first answer. And notice I'm putting a semicolon in between because I've got another answer. You're doing good, but just chill out a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna erase that line under that 1 because we've already rounded to that place, okay? What is the next thing? Say to round to the nearest 10,000. Well, help me figure out where the 10,000s are. Start on your 5. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000. So now we're rounding to that 2. So look next door. Jake Lee, is that 5 or greater? Does it have enough power to push that 2 over? So the 1 stays the same, but what do I do with that 2, Jake Lee? Say it again, what? No, the 6 does what to that 2? It's going to just push it up 1 number. And then what did I do a while ago with all those other numbers? What did I do? They become zeros. So there's my next number. My next answer. Then I'm going to put a semicolon. And then I'm going to go back and erase that line under the 2 because we've already done that. So I did the 100,000s, then I did the 10,000. What's the very last thing I have to do? The nearest what? 1,000. So here we go. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So it's the 6 this time. So Daisy, I'm going to look next door at that 9. Is that great enough to, or big enough, or heavy enough, or strong enough to push that over?
Yeah.
The 9 is. Because it's 5 or greater. Yeah. 9's a pretty heavy, strong number, isn't it? So the 6 is going to go up 1 number. What's the 6 going to go up to? 7. So the 1 stays the same. The 2 stays the same. But the 6 turns to 7. And then what do I do with all those other numbers?
It becomes 0.
1, 2, 3 zeros. What?
You had the 2, it's supposed to be a 3.
No.
Mm-mm.
On the second. And
The
then,
9 turns that to a 7.
and then the 1 and 2 stay the same.
These stay the same. Now, if I was changing that 6 to, if I was changing that to a 3 because I was looking at that, but I'm not doing that. I'm rounding to the nearest thousands this time. So your answer is 127,000. Okay, now I'm not done. Because now the question says, which of these rounded amounts, help me, what does it say, is closest to the actual attendance? This was the actual attendance. So raise your hand if you think this is closest to this is closest to this, or this is closest to that. So y'all are going with this? Actually, let's just circle that then. Good job. Number 11. Mariko and her family went on a 10-day vacation. Where do y'all want to say she went on vacation to?
Florida.
Hawaii. Ooh, I want to go to Hawaii. Has anyone in here ever been to Hawaii?
I know Jules
You've been
has.
to Hawaii? Is it beautiful?
I just
Yeah. So let's pretend like this is Jake Lee. And she goes up with her family on a 10-day vacation. And listen to what Jake Lee did. She read 12 pages in her book. What does this say? Each day. So Monday she read 12 pages. Tuesday she read 12 pages. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Every day she read 12 pages. That would make Miss Kennedy so happy, wouldn't it, if you read on vacation?
Yeah.
So here's the question. How many, what does this word right here say?
Total.
You should circle that. Total always means add. Always. Always, always, always means add. But sometimes there's little tricks. So do you want to add 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12? You know something else? What do you want to do?
I want to do 12 plus 12 and then
I don't agree with that.
Do 10 times
10 times 12. So on your paper, write 12 times 10. And look, I let my zero hang off. You should let your zero hang off too. And then all you have to do is bring that zero straight down, just like that. And then multiply the 1 times 2. What do you get when you multiply 1 times 2?
2.
2. And 1 times 1 is 1. Then that's how many pages she read on her vacation to Hawaii.
Yeah, I knew that.
good, just listen, okay? Number 12. Is the value of the first 5 in whose population? What, does this say Oklahoma's population?
No.
Does this say Wyoming population? What does it say? California's population. And I think we need to look over here at this chart. Does that say California?
No.
Does that say California? Does that say California? Where does it say California?
The very first.
Very top. So let's put a star by that, so you know that you're looking at the right state. Because that's a huge way of them trying to trick you. Is the value of the first 5 in California's population 10 times as great as the value of the second 5? We'll come over here to California, and let's find their 5s. Do what I did. Underline the 5s. Make sure you're in California.
Nope.
Well, I'm going to look right here. And I need your help, Xander. What is that 5 right there worth? Right there. Think about the place it's in. But there's a 5 there. If there's a 5 in the 10th spot, then what does that make it worth? 50. Everybody write 50 on your scrap paper. Now we're looking at this 5 right here. So let's think about what place this is. Help me. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000. But there's a 5 in the 10,000 spot, Kiara. 50,000. Write that right there. So now we know the value. Now here's the big question. Is the value of the first 5, boom, that's the first 5, 10 times as great as the value of the second 5? In other words, if I multiply that times 10, am I going to get that? Let's try. On scrap paper, write 50 times 10, just like this. Write it. Bring that 0 straight down. What's 1 times 0, class?
0.
0. What's 1 times 5, class?
5.
5. When I multiplied that times 10, did I get that?
No.
No. So it's got to be more than 10 times greater. What do you think it might be?
1,000. 10,000 times greater.
10,000?
No. 1,000.
1,000? Okay, everybody write 50 times 1,000. Now look how I did it. I let all 3 of those zeros hang off. And I'm going to bring those 3 zeros straight down. Then I'm going to multiply 1 times 0 and get 0. And 1 times 5 and get 5. Did that become that? Yes. So the answer is no. It wasn't 10 times greater. It was how much greater? Tell me, what was it?
1,000.
1,000 times greater. There's your answer. I'm not going to write that. You can write it. 1,000 times greater. 1,000 times greater. Number 13. Write the population of, does this say California?
Florida.
What? Florida? So you better put like a check mark this time so we know what state we're looking at. In expanded form. We're writing this in expanded form. So here we go.
That's fine.
Yeah, you can underline exponents too. The very first digit in Florida is a 1. So put your parenthesis and put a 1 times. That's the very first digit in Florida. Now we gotta figure out what place this is. I need your help. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions on your scrap paper. Write 10 million. Now you should be thinking of zeros, the number of zeros. Brooklyn, when you see 10 million, how many zeros do you see right there? 7. So what should I write right here?
10 to the 7th.
Yes, ma'am. Good job. And that took care of the first digit in Florida. Now put a plus sign. Now put a parenthesis. Now look, I'm on 8 this time. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing every digit in the whole population. So do 8 times. And if that 1 was 10 to the 7th, what do you think that 8's going to be?
10 to the 6.
Thank you. And then you have to literally do every other digit, okay? Are you with me?
Yeah.
Because so far we've just done the first 2 digits of Florida. You got to do the whole thing, okay?
We just don't have
I'm going to do one more with you and the fire drill is fixing to happen. Number 14. Joseph says in the number 9,999,999, all the digits have the same value. Here's the question. Is this 9 worth the exact same thing as that 9?
No.
They're all 9s. Why don't they have the same value? Okay, if y'all say no. Why do they not have the same value, Kiara?
It's because the second line that you underlined is higher than the first one.
Okay, I agree. Let's tell me how much higher. What's this worth right here, class?
1.
But there's a 9 in it.
So 9.
And this is worth 90. How do you go from 9, go through some machine, and come out 90? What do you say it?
9 times 10.
You're right. That's the answer over here. They're 10 times greater. But I think over here you need to put each digit has a different value. Each digit has a different value.
Is that an I after the H, G?